Hey, it's Jacksnax and welcome back to Helldivers 2. Today we're looking at one of the most disliked primaries in the game, the Liberator Concussive. Now, before you skip the video, I'm not claiming this thing is meta or OP or trying to come up with any sort of clickbait title for this video. I'm just going to explain why this AR is more useful than you think and maybe convince one of you to give it another look. What it is, this is a variation of the standard Liberator assault rifle. The difference? It fires concussive rounds, which stagger enemies on hit. There is a trade-off though. Damage per shot, 65, whereas the standard Liberator is 80. The fire rate is only 400 RPM, which is slower than the Liberator's 640 RPM. Armor penetration, light only. It does come with a 60 round mag as standard, meaning you don't have to get it all the way up to level 25 before you can use it. It's got around about a 2-second reload on it, which is pretty good. So not only do you get 1/3 less damage and almost 1/3 slower of a fire rate, you're also locked into light armor penetration, and on paper that makes this look like a nerfed Liberator in every single way. Why does that sound bad? Let's be honest, the ready salted Liberator isn't exactly a powerhouse to begin with. Sure, it's fun to use and a challenge, but it empties its magazine faster than a Helldiver's lifespan, and it doesn't spread much democracy while doing it. So if you tell me there's less firepower and a slower fire rate than an already diluted weapon, you'd think, yep, this thing is trash. That's where you're wrong. This is how I see it. I don't treat this as a primary weapon for squashing bugs. I treat it as a support weapon for myself and my teammates. Why? The concussive rounds. These things slap so hard, they'll interrupt whatever your enemies are doing and stop them in their tracks, stun locking them in place as long as you keep firing. Because of the slower fire rate, it takes longer to empty the magazine, but that also means you can crowd control very easily for an extended period of time. This leaves your teammates free to mop up, or you can bring along any of the guard dogs to increase your effectiveness on the battlefield. And as you've just seen, this thing is so useful against most of the bots, especially getting those Devastators to drop their shield, leaving them open to your teammates and their choice as a weapon. But you'll have also noticed when you do land a headshot, this thing actually slaps and knocks them down. But meanwhile, on Planet Boring with the Squid Squad, whilst I never have much fun over here, its effectiveness cannot be overlooked because there's one thing that's guaranteed on this planet, and that is crowding. And that is exactly what this weapon is built for. Crowd control. Taking on a whole gang of voters can feel slow, sure, but the Liberator Concussive still keeps them at bay, letting you move through the endless cities of boringness without being instantly mobbed. It's great at slowing down the meatballs and can even drop them in just a few rounds for reasons that are unbeknownst to me, but there doesn't seem to be much consistency in that. And as I've said before, these concussive rounds really shine in knocking enemies back with the overseers and their charged attacks, and this will push them back a block before they even realise what's happened. So as a quick recap, this gun is about controlling the fight, not about damage per second. You get the free stun lock mechanic from the concussive rounds, which are so useful, especially when you're defending objectives or just trying to defend a fellow Helldiver on a terminal. It pairs perfectly with any of the guard dog stratagems. You can exponentially increase your damage per second just by bringing that with you. It's a team play weapon. You may not get the highest amount of kills, but you will be able to keep those enemies off your team players. So as a quick recap, the things I like about this weapon, it lets you control the fight. It lets you push the enemies back and you're dictating where they can and cannot get to you. You get that free stun lock mechanic with the concussive rounds, which are most effective against the bugs. Especially when those predator stalkers, they create that little arc around you, and suddenly you've got enemies on your left, enemies on your right, and they will pounce on you and get their tongues on you at any given opportunity. These concussive rounds interrupt that mechanic immediately. Normally when I fly away with a jetpack, these predator stalkers will just grab a hold of me. There's nothing I can do about it, especially if they've got that gloom effect where it slows you down. Again, one bullet from this gun will just stun them, daze them, move them back. And here you'll see me hold Mouth of a Mega Nest with mostly just this weapon. I had a laser sentry for a couple of seconds, but just burning through this ammo means I can stand, not give ground, and hold a crowd of enemies in place, allowing me to build up that kill combo repeatedly. This thing's a team play weapon. It keeps the enemy busy whilst your teammates get on with the job. And if you're the kind of player that's like supportive, or you're the team player, this is the weapon for you. It does what you want it to. It keeps them away from you, and if they do get close, you just immediately push them back. And even here, I had no control over where I dropped in, straight on a gang of enemies. A little orbital gas strike, I turn around and realise, oh, I'm actually cornered. Normally, you would lose your Helldiver's precious life, but because of this Liberator Concussive, I can push everything away from me whilst causing damage. And you can't do that with most weapons. There are things like the Blitzer or the Pummeler that also do this, but in my opinion, the Liberator Concussive comes out on top. And finally, here's a perfect example of me using the laser guard dog stratagem and the Concussive to hold back 3 stalkers and taking them out in record-breaking time. Thanks for watching the video, I'll see you in the next one. Peace!